Our elder treasures to you. You'll find downstairs that we have full biographies and photographs of the folks who were able to be here with us today, and then some folks who, like Jeanette, who didn't feel up to actually being present. But this is the teaser trailer. And I'll start in the back, and you don't have to stand up, but maybe you could wave. I'll start with Coralie. This is Coralie Borning. She was part of the original group that founded this congregation in the 1950s. She's actually the last living person who signed our original charter. So truly, we would not be here without her. Coralie has worked as a nurse and as a librarian. She and her beloved late husband Bernie spent time in Korea and in Africa, and their home is filled with interesting art from exotic places, as well as lots of photos of family. Sitting next to Coralie is Dan Rothman. He's new up here. Dan and his wife, Pat, moved to Moscow to be near their son, Kurt. They raised their family in UU churches and have been very active in church life. Dan has served as a board president and is currently the member of the Building and Grounds Committee. So thanks, Dan. You might as well do it. Sitting next to him is Pat. Pat Rothman has been active in social and environmental justice work her whole life, and when we say active, we mean active. Pat became a UU in 1960 at All Souls Church in New York City. Pat maintains a rigorous schedule of activities that would put many a younger person to shame. Okay, then we have Ann Juanita. Joanne refers to herself as a Judah, a Jewish Unitarian Taoist agnostic humanist. She retired from her position at Festival Dance just this last year and is a regular at social justice and artistic events. Between the two of them, these two, oh my gosh. Sitting next to her is Frances Norton. Frances is sort of an honorary UU. She still claims she's a Methodist first and foremost. She was raised a Methodist in North Carolina, came west to live near her son, John Norton, who introduced her to the UUCP. Frances lives on Unitarian Row out at Good Sam. Sitting next to Frances is Ray Starett. Ray is also a recent transplant. He's a transplant from Wisconsin, where he was active in the Lacrosse UU Fellowship for many years. Ray is an avid bicyclist who moved to Clarkston to be closer to his daughter just this past summer, and who drives up every week to be here with us in church. So thank you, Ray. Bill Bonasin is married to Marty Godshall. They share a love of life together and a love of the study of geology and especially volcanology. And I'll just say I had the incredible luck to be taken by them on a geological tour of the Palouse. And oh my gosh, they're just wealth of knowledge. So. Sitting next to Bill is Sue Allard. Sue's a retired social worker and school psychologist. She moved herself and her aging parents to Moscow to be near her daughter Kathy, who is a member of the UUCP. Sue has served on the board 3 times and is a longtime small group leader and coordinates still our small group ministry program. We couldn't do it without her. So yay, Sue. And we come to the front row, and of course we'll start with our almost birthday girl. Zoe Coolie is a lifelong UU from Sioux City to Madison to the Palouse. Zoe worked as an advocate for mental health education. She and her beloved husband Jim, who died just this past spring, built an amazing homestead outside of Troy from the ground up. Zoe only recently took an apartment here in town where she will be staying during the winter months. Next to Zoe is Pat Scott. Pat has been an active member of the UUCP since 1985. She's served in many church roles as bookkeeping treasurer and board chair and membership chair. She is a devoted and active Democrat and a very, very good bridge player. Okay, I'm going back and forth because I have it in alphabetical order. Jean Holley is sitting next to Pat. Jean is a delightful firecracker with tremendous wit, interesting perspective on life, and fascinating stories to tell. And Jean is also an expert Scrabble player. And last but not least, Alice Woodrum, our ringer, who none of us realized was an octogenarian. Alice is a recent transplant to Moscow from Greeley, Colorado, where she was very active in the UU fellowship there. Alice is a gifted musician who sings with our choir and serves as our accompanist from time to time, and much more often these days while John is on his sabbatical. So thank you, Alice. In your order of service, you will find this litany of appreciation.